Yeah, as we were saying then, what we were saying again, I even forgot what we were saying then. Well, just ask the last
We're just talking about different audiences are different, do different kind of things, play different kind of things to different kind of audiences, challenging yourself kind of thing.
Yeah, and that's the thing then, and that's the thing then. So as you were saying, then you'll probably get your own project your collaboration thing done. I think that would be really cool to get all that done as well and see how that goes in a different direction what you were doing before. And as I was saying, it would have been really good if you guys were still around and when you guys were going to play Edinburgh, and I would have went and seen you guys. That would have been really good because you would have been
crazy about the corona situation. It almost feels like you're living in this parallel world, don't you, where you're living online a lot of the time and you're existing in a certain way, but you're not getting out there and meeting people in person and mingling with people and getting to meet different people and stuff. Feels like we've had a bit of a limbo in that sense. So
yeah, we've had.
It's just so strange knowing that we would have been up in Scotland doing some gigs and up north doing more gigs and stuff, but it wasn't to be, and that's the reason. I just thought, right, this is time for a fresh start now. So I was going to have a little break anyway, so it's brought the break forward a little bit for me, and I'm perfectly happy with that,
So obviously there's this lot now. I'm guessing it's taking a wee time to get off the music a wee bit and the tour off a little bit, so you can just refresh yourself into the new direction you're going now.
Yeah, I think to be honest, I've probably been phoning it in for about a year. I probably could have done with a little bit of a break, but I had like nice distractions, like going to Europe and doing acoustic shows there, which was just enable me to sing different kind of songs. The sets were a little bit longer. We were playing like little bars and cafes and different kind of places. We even rocked up at somebody's house party and did a show there to like German
cool.
people, and that had some great feedback from things like that. And learning different songs, we would go along. We were saying, right, we're going to do that song tomorrow. Actually, there was a funny gig in Holland that I was talking about. Somebody on an interview with the other day, a different one, and I walked down. We walked down to play this bar in Rotterdam. It was a hostel in Rotterdam, and we were playing like their little stage there and stuff to their local people. And I walked downstairs. I thought I'm just going to get probably charging my phone or something. I can't remember. Gone upstairs. We were on the top floor, and came back down. As I walked down on the bottom floor, there's this naked Dutch dude stood in the doorway. I think this is a bit weird. Fair enough. We're in Holland, kind of thing. I didn't think anything more of it. Walked downstairs. We started playing. We're playing one of our own numbers on acoustic, and the second song that we played, 4 butt naked Dutch dudes jump on stage, start dancing about to one of these lively tunes we were playing or whatever. I can't think what song it was. Start dancing about butt naked, ran straight out the room, trashed a jukebox that was there, ran down the street completely butt naked. I don't think anybody saw him again, to be honest. So it was just one of the most bizarre things I've seen at a gig in a long time. And
unexpected, that's unexpected.
And then the guy who ran the bar just said, they're not coming back. They're from the local university or something. They just like run butt naked down the road to wherever their university was or something like that. So you get some funny stories when you're playing gigs out and about for sure.
Something could happen. Something bizarre could happen. It's always different being at gigs. You get something unexpected that happens. Yeah.
We had another one. We did a gig in Cardiff, and we had another one where our drummer at the time, who was with us for a little bit, and he's like big on the punk scene. He actually wrestled. If you check out his online stuff, he wrestled as Zero Tolerance, and he's got a punk band called Section 19. I think it's spelled 19, Section 19, and they do a fair few gigs. They're more like heavy mixture of metal and a little bit of glam in there as well. He's a big into obviously big into his wrestling. People like Chris Jericho and stuff like that. But we were out after a gig. We had one too many beers, and we went into the centre of Cardiff trying to find a good late bar. Me, Kieran, Zero, and I think that was it. In terms of the people going on the piss. And we went into this bar stroke late bar club type thing, and there were these guys from Cardiff. They looked like gangsters. They were all wearing like pinstripey black with a thin pinstripe kind of suit, and they'd all got the pint glasses over their heads. And this is going to be immortalized in a new version of Bye Bye that we're recording at the moment. I've rewritten the lyrics to it, and he had a pint. They all were holding their pint glasses above their heads, and I think Kieran said to him, "What's this all about? Then, were you holding your pint glasses over your head?" He says, "Well, if anybody knocks into you, your beer's not going to spill. If you've got your pint glass over your head, nobody's going to knock your pint out your hand." I don't know what the hell that was all about. But anyway, about 5 minutes later, Zero's on the dance floor, rocking away. Smells Like Teen Spirit by Nirvana comes on. And this local Cardiff lad, probably must have been mid-20s, late 20s, something like that, comes up to Zero and he goes, "Down it, down it, down it," kind of thing.
Done it down or something.
Zero had got like, he's got pretty much a full pint anyway. So Zero downs this full pint, finishes it off, and as he finishes the pint off, he gets it, spits it straight in this guy's face, the rest of this pint, spits it straight in his face, and this guy goes over to the bouncer and gets Zero kicked out while Smells Like Teen Spirit's cranked out in the background. Like, so me and Kieran ended up finishing off the night, which was quite amusing. But
so that's not unexpected for you.
Just a bit. We had some mad stuff happening.
So you quite had some mad stuff happening in your band as well.
Yeah, I've got some funny amusing stories. Some I can tell and some I probably couldn't. But yeah, some crazy stuff going on just in terms of just people doing stuff that's probably not legal or whatever, you know what I mean? So
bands are like that.
We've had some funny characters over the years playing in the bands and stuff.
Bands are like that as well.
Including a guy called Daniel Ison, who's a singer-songwriter I'll shout out to. And this is the bass that we ended up replacing. I was going to show you the bass earlier, so I got it off the wall when the technical issue happened. And this is the replacement bass. It's a bit on the heavy side, basically. It's a Shine, which I don't know if it's any good or not, but
it's not a guitar company I'm familiar with. It must be a generic brand or something.
Yeah, it's pretty much.
It's a nice guitar. I don't
think the sound was too bad. I think it's quite a beefy sound on stage, but it replaced my original bass. Because Dan never had his own bass when he joined the band. He replaced Chris on bass. And back at that time where I said that we were struggling to, our band members leave, you've got to get straight onto it and get them replaced. I think one key with that is as well, get yourself a couple of gigs booked in for the future, 3 months down the line or whatever. Say, right, I'm going to have a little break, but I'll get the right people together. And you book a gig in 3 months down the line. I think we had a gig in Birmingham booked. I think Chris left the band mid-June time. I knew he was leaving. And I think we booked ourselves a gig for like mid-October, early November, and got a good lineup together. And then we ended up playing at the O2 Academy, supporting Electric Six and stuff like that. And Chris left the band and missed out on all that stuff. So, but anyway, in relation to that bass, Dan ended up having my shiny, I can't think what the brand was. It's probably another generic brand that I had in my teens, like. And me and my best friend, we shared a bass back in the day, basically. We were both going to learn bass, so we thought, right, we'll go halves on a bass. We've got a bass and an amp for about 200-something quid. And I had this bass for absolutely bloody ages, and the bassist ended up losing this bass. Anyway, it was a metallic blue bass. It's probably more of something that you'd have in like a heavy rock band or a metal band or whatever. It didn't. Yeah. It probably wouldn't quite suit in an indie band, to be honest. You know what I mean? But yeah,
not death metal, obviously.
not death metal. No, it's a bit too shiny and metallic for that. Maybe a good like hard prog band or something like that. I don't know, but yeah. So he ended up getting a bit wasted and losing my bass, and that's the replacement bass that he ended up with, and he ended up paying for it himself because obviously he'd lost my bass, and I got the money back in after about 2 years after, or whatever the case may be. But we got there in the end.
So it took a while then to get back.
I had to dangle him off Trent Bridge in Nottingham, and say, right, give me the rest of that. No, not really.
So we'll ask a few more questions now,
Yeah.
and then before we round this off, we'll need to end of it now anyway. So, how about one that's sort of like a dream gig if you ever wanted to play it? Who would you like to play about?
So what a dream gig, and I'm supporting somebody, you mean?
Yeah, it could be supporting someone. It could be the location as well where you like to play.
I would say quite like that. I'm a big Depeche Mode fan, and I like that concert 101. I don't know if you've ever seen it, from the 80s, and they play a place called the Pasadena Rose Bowl, which would look really atmospheric and really cool. I think maybe the Doors played it back in the day as well. I think back in the 60s. Jim Morrison's another. Doors, one of my favourite bands as well. I played Pasadena Rose Bowl, and I would play with Dead or Alive, or just Alive.
Okay, so you would so that's then cool. Would you like to?
I would go. If Alive, then I would go with Black Sabbath, and Dead, I'd probably say David Bowie.
So that's the bands you would like to play with.
Yeah,
they would be amazing bands, then for sure.
Yeah. You would have to have your dancing shoes on that night, wouldn't you, to compete with people like that?
So you probably have to wear like colour shoes or something, maybe.
You would have to be your very, very best. But that's what it's about. You want to play with
dance.
You want to play with the best people.
So Let's Dance. That's what I mean. That's how David Bowie wrote that song.
I'm more into like the earliest, early 70s stuff, like Ziggy Stardust and tracks like Moon Age Daydream and stuff like that. So more the 70s stuff for me, and the funky period that he had as well. So.
Yeah.
Experimental, strange. I mean, when I say I want to like go into more the experimental kind of stuff, I love the album by David Bowie called Low, if you've ever get the chance to listen to that, because that's just got a fantastic production on it, and also stuff like Brian Eno I'm really into as well. So he was in Roxy Music, and obviously produced things like U2 and bands like that. So Brian Eno's, I like a lot of Brian Eno stuff. Stuff he did with Robert Fripp from King Crimson and stuff like that. So that's that kind of, it's experimental, but it's guitar based experimental kind of stuff, So I'd like to try something of that vibe,
That's cool. So, and as in like a gig, a place where would you like to play as a place where you would gig?
Oh, place where we play?
Yeah.
I suppose I'd like to play Rock City in Nottingham, really, as well, because
that's quite a big venue, isn't it?
It's the one Nottingham venue I've not performed in any capacity at. I mean, I've done acoustic gigs at certain venues in Nottingham that I want to play and stuff, but Rock City is somewhere I'd like to get on the main stage of Rock City. Cool.
You're probably not too far from Download Festival either, saying that, talking about festivals, Download Festivals.
En route, yeah, we're not far from Milton Keynes at all here, really, no.
So you can probably play, if you probably wanted, it would be, if that was like your festival, or like in Download Festival would be your dream festival.
We'd probably end up being one of those bands where they throw a load of piss at me.
Would they?
Be one of those, like Daphne and Celeste, where they've got the piss thrown at them.
Well, maybe
every year they always have one band so that the crowd can throw bottles of shit and stuff like that at. So I would probably end up being that band, wouldn't I?
So they were the band, because obviously Download Festival is more like a sort of metal festival, and it's more
Yeah, that's why they throw the piss at me. Probably, nah, not really.
Especially
I'm sure we'll be all right at download. We're good enough to. We're good enough to.
some of your downloaders have probably heard of it, probably heard of your band. Some,
Download what? Sorry.
and probably some of the people probably go to demo festivals probably heard your band.
Yeah, well, yeah, I don't doubt it. I mean,
Yeah, I think.
it's like I had a reviewer who's like big into rock and punk and stuff like that, and she was like in the earlier, like rockier, like more rough production kind of stuff that we'd done, and she was like in that kind of stuff that she heard on the compilation. So there's a mixture of styles on there, you know what I mean? Like I said
Yeah,
earlier, you try and find the best tracks for that particular gig that you're playing, don't you? You know what I mean? If you think it's a crowd that's
and it could be
like more solos and more guitar-based stuff, heavier stuff, then you play that side of your repertoire, don't you? You try and do things the best you can for that particular performance. You know, you put your effort into it, and I think people respect a good live band, and I'm sure we'd be okay.
And have you ever been to
I'll throw it
Download?
straight back at them. So
Have you ever been to Download Festival?
no.
No.
No, the last festival I went to Boomtown, which was pretty cool. That was like alternative reggae, a lot of drum and bass, a lot of stuff like old school. There's like some post-punk stuff like Killing Joke there, and
Yeah, Karen Jock. That's
Asian Dub Foundation played there. They're one of my favourite bands from back in the day when I was growing up. There was who else played? It was a good lineup. Go Go Bordello played as well. I don't know if you know their music.
no, not really.
Gypsy punk kind of stuff. They're a great live band if you ever get a chance to see them. So.
Yeah, maybe one of these times.
Yeah, definitely, man.
So, I mean, but yeah, as bands here, we've got a good metal scene in Edinburgh as well. We've got some good metal bands, of course.
Who would you say is the likely to be the breakout metal band in Edinburgh at the moment?
If a band, I would suggest you a band you should check out, and well, we have some good metal bands in Edinburgh, and I think I'll name you some of them. I think you should check out, and we've got our real cool sort of thrash metal band. We've got a thrash metal band. I think they're doing pretty well for themselves. They're called Ifyam, and you should check them out. They're quite old school thrash metal, like just like your sort of one of them all, like.
Is thrash type stuff doing well in the like commercial at the moment then? Or?
I think it's still doing well. I think in a way a lot of these independent bands come along and play thrash metal, like as I say, like these guys, if you are they're just old school thrash metal, they're sort of maybe like I don't know if they're like European thrash, I would say like German, like maybe like I could be thinking of Disruption maybe. I don't know if there's and I don't know who else comes to mind. It's difficult to actually figure away what influence to take because thrash metal is thrash metal. There's not like there's going to be a specific sound the band's taking influence on, but
no, that's it.
But
certain niche of music into a certain type.
The vocalist in Ifyam, I was just say he's got quite high vocals, so he's a bit like Ken. Well, Halford in a way, he would probably think that he's got very high vocals, and maybe not like thrash style vocals, but like higher ones. He can do like high screams or something. I don't mean like all Harvard screams, but he does. I don't know actually. Maybe he does do that. I don't see him doing it. Well, when I've seen them live, they do like a scream sort of high to low. I think scream. I don't know if it's maybe a bit more sort of the glam metal screams, maybe like that. You hear.
Yeah, cool. Sounds a good mixture.
That's the band that are really good. I think they're doing well. The classic thrash sound. We've got Talon as well.
Are they getting big audiences in Edinburgh then at the moment?
They've been doing on UK, which is good. Which is a good start as well. They've been around for a few years, I think.
Yeah, just building their name.
Yeah, I guess so. It's a neat name as well. If you am, I don't think it's a name. I don't think it's a name that's been taken off other metal bands. I think it's
Yeah,
a name, Scottish name.
yeah, the best. Get it trademarked pretty quick. Then there's a rock band from pretty heavy. Yeah, they're pretty heavy rock band. Got a metal influence, got a rock influence, blues rock influence. Called oh, my friends, I should know what they're called. They're called The Addiction, and
Dixon.
apparently they had the name first to a certain degree, and I think another local band from North Derbyshire's kind of taken the name and like really done well with it, and so I'm just like, well, it's one of those you've got to either sort it out legally or move on, haven't you? And if you haven't got a lot of money behind you, it's hard to sort things out legally with them.
Yeah, the name gets taken off a band, and then they steal the name, and then that name they get actually bigger
Yeah,
because you obviously started the name, and obviously a band comes along, and then your name's taken, and that's it.
yeah. I mean, it's been one thing with when I picked the name Prime. I mean, I obviously like the name, but there's a few primes that have come before us. None were huge commercially or anything like that, but there's been a few bands with a name. That's why I put Prime UK Band on everything there. Different.
Yeah,
There's
because
between
obviously,
bands, and then the next project I choose is hopefully going to have a name that I'll make sure that's not taken by anybody, and it'll stay not taken as well. You've got to protect what you've got, haven't you? I suppose. So.
yeah, true, and then obviously it'll stick with you hopefully as well.
Yeah, precisely. And yeah, stands out straight away. It just makes life so much easier, doesn't it? But we've done well. I mean, you stick in Prime Band online, and you'll find us pretty easily. So,
Yeah,
Prime UK Band. So,
that's cool. So another band I'll mention for Edinburgh as well was Black Talon. They're from a thrash metal bands as well. Black Talon, and they're like another sort of classic thrash sound. They're probably a bit more like American sort of thrash sound. I think they're more like Overkill, maybe Exodus, possibly, and Forbidden, maybe.
so you like to follow in their footsteps with the music you do, then.
Yeah, I like this sound. And well, I don't actually keep up with their pages like enough, but I always do like to go and see them playing gigs. And got so many. I think we've got quite a lot of bands that I can actually name. List to maybe on this wee stream that you can maybe have a wee listen to.
Yeah,
I've been interviewing some of these bands on the channel anyway, so
yeah. Awesome.
you'll
It's many bands got slots booked in now for like late summer, early autumn then for like gigs coming up, or what is the scene kind of getting back off its arse again now then after Corona, or
Well, at the moment, I think the earliest gigs might be October maybe. So I'm hoping it'll get back on its feet soon as well. I mean, a lot of these bands won't be playing anything for the time being.
I mean mid-late September's more festival season anyway, and I suppose, and October's when things starts building back into like the gigging season again, isn't it?
Yeah, just your general gigs and that. Obviously, this will be the festival season is a no go this year, unfortunately. All these festivals.
What's the biggest festival near you then in Edinburgh?
Sorry?
What's the biggest rock festival near you in Edinburgh then? Is there a particular alternative festival or?
And we actually we used to have like a music festival, and I believe it's called Heavy Scotland. So it was just a simple name, and we used to be done. It was only actually done for 1 year. It never actually took off, to be honest. And so what actually happened? I believe they did it 1 year. They actually brought in Axe Behemoth, and who else? I think actually one of the Edinburgh bands was actually on the bill actually. One of our bands. I don't know, maybe two. I actually don't know that actually. I'm sure I've seen one of the bands from here, of course, Disposable, which is another band you should check out as well. They play some modern thrash metal. So we actually do have quite a few thrash metal bands, and we're not like and there was a time at Medimum had a bit of a sort of core scene as well at the time as well, and has some metal bands, but that kind of faded to black now. So I don't know actually what happened, but that happened. I had a wee bit of a sort of friend we started, I guess, some of these core metal bands playing some gigs around Edinburgh. But going back to in Heavy Scotland, yeah, we had some bigger bands that played there for that time.
So
And
did the festival not do well then? Did it just not
I think it did well. It did well that year. They were actually bringing it in again the following year. But what happened? I think to be honest, I think the promoter maybe did something which I don't know what it was. I think he just took all the money and went on a holiday or something.
An independent kind of thing, then, where someone's like.
And also, it kind of that's
yeah,
it.
there can be a lot of that in music and in festivals, especially.
Yeah.
A lot of power struggles and money issues and things like that. So it's a hard game to get right. Into like we've played a few things all day festival. It's just like, oh my god, how it was almost like a professional kind of operation, just done with no sense of organization or kind of certain things. You just think, oh, what were you thinking by?
Because
in this event, as you've booked it, there's no rhyme or reason, or makes no sense a lot of the time, does it? But it's a promoting stuff is hard. I mean, I've promoted a fair few gigs in my time. I started off like on the acoustic scene. I had an acoustic night called "Shut the Fuck Up" because I was sick of gigs where people were talking all the way through the acoustic acts and stuff. So I literally made it. There was like an upstairs where the musicians were, and a downstairs where you could chat at the bar. And it was just like, if you don't like listening to music, just fuck off downstairs and chat with your mates downstairs rather than upstairs. That's one thing that reminded me of you when I got that message from you saying Prime are into the surf music, because I was watching a God, who was it? I can't think who the main band were, but the support act was this really mellow. She might have been from Scandinavia or Norway, somewhere like that. She was playing really mellow kind of stuff on the like keyboards, and there was these fucking people right nearby just talking all the way through it. You know what I mean? And I just turned to this woman. I said, "Will you shut?" You know, it got to the point where I just said, "Will you shut the fuck up?" You know what I mean? People are trying to listen to this music. There's a bar downstairs. Go and talk to your mates in the bar. Don't like spoil the gig for everybody else. And it's really
to come upstairs and go to the gig.
Yeah, there's people like that are almost there just for say I've been there rather than actually get any artistic kind of thing out of it. But anyway, this drunk woman who was like chatting all the way through, she did stop for a bit, in fairness to her. And then about 1 or 2 minutes later, she turned to her friend and goes, "That surfer guy just told me to shut up," like, and stuff like that. So I did look a bit.
He said that too.
The surfer, the Australian surfer, or whatever she called himself.
I think because surfers have that kind of hair, that sort of middle of hair, and that's
and I had pretty blonde hair at the time. Obviously, completely natural, but
maybe because I've seen you in that music video in summer or something. That's I commented on that's probably how I got the beach. You said it's somewhere in the beach somewhere, and that's what I thought. That was supper. That was like in a supper
hippie surfer kind of look going on. Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, and that just it's a hard business to get into, music is, but if you're passionate enough about it, you can make a niche for yourself. Definitely, there's some people done really well from where I'm from, getting their name out there. They started off playing similar kind of venues that I played when I first started. Sleaford Mods is from our town. He's done really well at the moment. We've had a few pretty reasonably big acts that have charted. Jake Bugs from Nottinghamshire way. These are people that they do. Some they started off on the circuit and just got spotted and done well. It's a matter of luck sometimes where you get spotted, you know.
Yeah, that's what's about. So
you get out there and play. You don't get that luck, do you? You make your own luck sometimes. So
yeah, and that's what I mean about Heavy Scotland. It's obviously not going to come back anymore. That's it. Especially we'll have to deal with the smaller gigs doing it. Just the smaller venues around the town that are doing our gigs. That's all. It seems that's the only way Edinburgh's going at the moment. I don't think Edinburgh. I think that's probably the best it's been. It's usually it's the case they play these venues in
I think
the London town.
Glasgow's traditionally had the better scene, hasn't it? From what I've been told,
Yeah, I think it's slightly better
more of a music place, I think, isn't
because
it?
they actually have venues. They have some better they have some bigger bands, bigger metal bands that come
Yeah,
along.
of course. But you know, you've got a small network there up in Scotland and stuff that can kind of get word around quite quick, can't you, around Scotland?
Yeah,
And then that helps build up a following, and maybe that's a little bit better than what we've got here in the Midlands, because our big cities seem to be quite separate. Not big cities round my way, but places like Sheffield seem to be quite disconnected from Nottingham a little bit. Nottingham seems to be disconnected a little bit from Leicester at times and stuff. So I think in Scotland, I get the impression you've got like a little bit more of a network kind of way to get your name out there a bit quicker and stuff. So
yeah. I think bands in Glasgow come to Edinburgh. Some of the bands in Glasgow, I think, sometimes play Edinburgh, so it's kind of like that as well. So we have some times our bands go through to Glasgow to play gigs there. So I think as in a way, I think Glasgow's kind of connected to Edinburgh in a way of band wise. So it's kind of our bands come along and their bands come along. So we share venues to each other, I guess, in a way. So I mean, I've seen there's a very good Glasgow band called Render Thunder. That's a really good death metal band that I've seen play Edinburgh. I mean, I've heard the name and I've heard their music. It's really good stuff, but I've never seen them live until last year when they decided to come up to Edinburgh.
yeah, awesome. And do you get to Glasgow much, Dan? Or?
And now and again, it's not really as fact to go until there's something happening. The last gig I was at before the pandemic started was Testament, Exodus, and Testament, Exodus, and Death Angel, which is a brass metal, which is a good brass metal gig, and that was basically the last gig I've been so far until this happened, so lockdown happened. Of course.
You were just getting your new momentum going for the podcast, and then suddenly you couldn't get to many gigs anymore.
No, it's like yourself, and gigs are kind of being stopped because of it. So it's a bit of a miss now. But once it goes away, everything will slowly get back to normal. We'll hopefully get back to where we left off.
Yeah, and like I said, I was talking on in a conversation with a friend from Leicester on a Leicester website the other week, and we said the same similar thing. And when this whole thing's over, there's going to be some really good, interesting music come out there, because people are like locked in.
They'll be doing
a lot of songwriting going on, a lot of production going on. Maybe people that are like 1 or 2 man team kind of thing, and getting songs together. And like, we're lucky we can just have a conversation like this. I can talk to you up in Scotland, and you can talk to me down here, and we're lucky these days that we can do that. You know what I mean? It's
just a click of a button, doing this, and
a life where we can just do this. You know what I mean? And
we can do it. We can at least.
As bad as it is for a lot of people spouting a lot of stupid shit, which especially has happened a lot lately. At least people can be close to their family through things like this and stuff like that, and close to their friends, and nobody's you got an internet connection. You're not going to be alone, are you? Really, there's a plus side and a bad side to it, but
And I do feel doing the social chats feel like meeting up as in person to person is still a good way to still connect. Like, because I know that's kind of part of human nature as well as you speak.
Yeah, it's never the same, and I think
this isn't going to be a thing for. This is not going to be the thing for the future. So this will be a thing for the now, and everything will get connected back to normality.
Yeah,
shake hands.
But normality might change because of this. You know what I mean? Because everybody's got used to a certain type of life, and maybe they might start changing a little bit. Everybody's a little bit at one with nature, aren't they? And the local surroundings, and maybe people have got different hobbies and different styles and different ways of doing things now. And touch wood, maybe things have changed for the better. Who knows?
Yeah, that's the thing. So what I'll do, I think if you're kind of ready to wrap this interview off soon, we'll ask you one more question,
Yeah,
and
yeah, call it a night.
this will be a shout question. So anything you'd like to say to the listeners? And
Yeah, just keep. Main thing that we've touched upon is just support things in your area, support people while they're starting out. You know what I mean? We were talking about the time that it takes to form a band and get something together that's good and to entertain people, which is what I've always kind of tried to do. I've not took myself too seriously like a lot of people, and I think just get out there and just support good musicians and try and support that rather than the commercial fucking shit that you're told that's good and stuff like that. These bands need your support and venues need your support. Maybe go out there and drink and support venues that support live music rather than drinking in your Wetherspoons because it saves you 60p or something on a pint. Go and drink in a place that supports live music. You know what I mean? That's the only way I think things will survive in terms of like live music and stuff like that.
yeah,
We're getting less and less venues at times, and venues are closing and sometimes opening up and stuff like that. There's always going to be venues, but just support them while you can and give them a bit of love. You know what I mean? That's the best thing I'll say. Just support independent culture.
yeah, and hopefully this at the end of the day, when this is all over, when this is all blown away, everything should then definitely be still there, and especially here because we've not got.
After this, they'll need you more than ever. You know what I mean? So don't go back into the drinking in Wetherspoons thing. Go back into drinking in places.
Yeah.
Support what you love. You know what I
mean? Drinking in our venues, of course, drinking, and then of course
independent galleries, support independent venues, support independent arenas and places that put on stuff that's not the norm. You know what I mean? And we might see some change there.
Okay.
That's the last word, anyway.
Yeah, but I mean, it's been an absolute real pleasure to be chatting to you. This has been a really good interview. Wrestling, we took it to a direction. We were talking about wrestling. We were talking about also your band kind of being no more now. Unfortunately, Prime not being no more, and talking about some of the bands from here and so much. Saying this has been a really good interview. I mean,
like I said earlier, the reason I put out this compilation was to highlight some of the songs that maybe haven't been highlighted as much as they could do. So hopefully the Prime UK band back catalogue will stick around for a little bit and to be enjoyed. So thank you for supporting that as well.
Yeah, and hopefully if we play the other track as well on the show, and they were one the emails, so I'm going to play in summer. It's at some point soon, so I'll get that airplayed on the metal show.
Oh, awesome, man! Thanks for the play. It's most appreciated.
Yeah, of course. And so as I say, I've got quite a lot of interviews with bands as well. As I started out all these bands from Edinburgh, I'll be interviewing some more of these bands around the country, around Edinburgh and around UK, around Scotland and Edinburgh, and maybe beyond as well. So you never know, I might get some bands from Europe as well, and I'll be interviewing maybe some American bands.
Yeah, just keep. You've got to be ambitious with these things, haven't you? And try different ideas and different bands and stuff. And yeah. I wish the channel the very best of luck in the future, and just keep pushing away, keep doing well, man.
Yeah, I'll get there eventually, and just keep subscribe, comment, and like. I guess I don't ever say that, and I'm not like one of the YouTubers that say it all the time, but yeah, comment, like, subscribe. I guess that's all. So they can automatically do that anyway. So I don't think I really need to see it in every interview or every video. Basically, I'm doing it. But I mean, it's been a real pleasure to talk to you, and Ben, it's been a real pleasure. Thank you very much for taking the time.
We get to meet in person sometime.
Yeah, I hope we do. That'll be good.